Yes, Sai.
How's it going?
It's going good. How is going on your side?
I'm good. I'm good. Glad finally get this. I was starting to think you were screwing with me, but well, I'm just glad to get started. But you want me to introduce myself? I watched some of your videos. I'm gonna put this on full screen. Uh, my name is John Downey. I live in Wyoming in the United States. Um, I am a software developer. I mostly do web stuff. Uh, I have a degree in computer science, so it's kind of general, but what I got wrangled into mostly after I got done with college was working on websites. So that's generally what I do these days. Um, I'm 33. I don't know. Is there any other? Am I forgetting anything?
So, thank you for accepting my invitation and accepting to be on my show.
Sure.
So, you're a software developer and you're into software development since.
Um, I want to say 2018, 2019. That sounds about right. I went to college for a really long time. Like I was in college for like 9 years because I didn't know what major I wanted, and it's not too long that I've been out here. And when I first when I first got my degree, finally, when I first got my computer science degree, one of my professors hired me off the bat. I understand you're doing software engineering. That's what you say. What would you say is the difference? So I have a degree in
Yeah,
computer science. What
yeah.
you
I have a degree in computer science and a master's degree in software engineering.
Damn. Yeah, man. Dang. Nice, dude. Yeah, no, you went further than me. I spent a lot of time in college, but first 3 years I was trying to be an actor. For the next couple years I was trying to do English literature, and then finally got into computer science, and then I graduated, got out. I couldn't go on to a master's. Too much time. Spent too much time on my bachelor's. Well, that's impressive. How old are you?
I'm 29.
Oh, yeah, see, 33. 33, and I'm probably, I don't know, probably got out of school when I was 27 or something, or 28. And I only got a bachelor's. So yeah, that's I guess that answers your question, I hope.
But you're into education for 9 years.
Well, I mean, you could call it that. The first 5 or 6, I mean, the first 2 or 3 was literally like, you know, acting classes and stuff. Like, I had one class that was like acting for the camera, and you'd go there and they'd set up a camera and everybody would be acting in front of it. So, I mean, I don't know if it's quite college as it was. And a lot of the time, first 2 years, I took so many PE classes. One of my classes was bowling. We just bowled. That's all we did. It was the whole class was like one big bowling tournament. And all semester we'd just go once a week and bowl with each other. I wasted a lot of time in college. It wasn't good. Yeah. Computer science actually helped me figure out that I wanted to get out of there and I actually wanted to do computer science.
And you also mentioned one more thing other than acting and computer science.
English literature.
Yeah.
Um, I got I got I got really far into a degree, a bachelor's in English literature, and I just I got I got so burned out by the subjective nature of it all, where you're just people trying to interpret texts, and then I needed electives, and I happened on a computer science course, and then I said, screw this English stuff. I'm gonna go work on computers because, that's when I was a kid. I had a computer when I was ever since I can remember. To be honest, I had a computer in the house with the internet pretty much ever since I can remember, because my mom, she did medical transcription, which is just typing and so she typed on a typewriter for the longest time. But my grandpa was very tech savvy, and he was on the internet in the dial up when that was the best you could do. So I've been on a computer my whole life, but I just didn't want to. I don't know. I was very conflicted. Like, I really wanted to do computer stuff my entire life. I really wanted to do computer stuff, but I didn't want to be seen as like a nerd or something. I think is kind of where my head was. I don't know. So, but I'm happy where I'm at now.
But it's interesting that you are into 3 different subjects in your life.
Yeah, I wish I hadn't. Now I'm $40,000 in debt, but that was.
So acting is a creative field, and literature is something where you have to be very conscious about the words and the language, and now software development. So if I ask you to compare one with other, so what do you say? What is the common thing, and what is the connective thing that you see?
I wouldn't say there's much. I really wouldn't say there's much. I mean, unless you're talking about, if you were talking about like writing, then there's probably a lot of parallels between like actually getting down and like writing a story and writing a program. But that's not what we did in English literature. What we did in English literature was, read old books. We read old books, and then we talked about them, and then we wrote papers about them. I'm not sure what parallels there are. Can you think of any? I don't. Just I used to really like reading. I mean, I still do like reading. I used to read a lot when I was a kid, and but I can't. I wouldn't say it's much anything like computer science. Computer science is so. I mean, it's a computer. There's nothing subjective about it. Everything, it's ones and zeros, and that's not how it is in English literature. English literature is like, that's just not how it is. I don't know.
So software development. So what do you say about this?
What about it?
What do you say about software development?
I'm not sure what you mean. What do I say about software development? It's fun. Is this the type of answer you're looking for? It's fun. I like that. I don't know, man. That's a hard question. Just be a little more specific, maybe.
Okay, I'll make it easy. So what do you do as a software developer?
As a software developer, I mean, right now, what I'm doing, I'm working on a web page for a fine artist who is trying to sell her art online. And so my task in that is literally just from the ground up, I do everything. So I'm not, I'm not, I make the server, I'll start up the server, I'll configure it, I'll configure the JavaScript client front end. I'll set up their payment for it. I'll basically just do everything for them because it's just me and I have to. when I'm working by myself. I have to know how to do everything. So a lot of the time, for me, software development is learning how to do what I need the computer to do, and then doing it however I can in a way that works. Um, Another thing I'm working on that I have been working on. So when I got out of college, I went to work for that professor, and I went to work for him for about 2 years, maybe a year and a half. Um, there, I was working on stocks, like the stock market. What we had, I started out there, worked on a web page or two, and then we moved into this big project. And the big project was it was a web app that lets you put together. It's been a while since I thought about this. It lets you put together uh, uh, inputs, and then it lets you specify an output, and then it runs a bunch of machine learning algorithms on it. And so what I was doing when I was working on this was essentially a ton of math with vectors, treating the stock market, because we would be comparing. So what our program could do would be like, you could say, what's the temperature in Dallas? These are your inputs. You put the temperature in Dallas, you put the price of lemonade, and you put, the, I don't know, something else, whatever you think goes into this stock, right? So the price of lemonade, maybe that makes Hawaiian shirts go up. Say that's your theory. So we give you these columns of data to put in there, and then it would let you it would take those columns of data and let you predict which stock predict what a stock would do, essentially. It's very complicated. My professor handled most all of the crazy machine learning stuff with the super dense math. A lot of what I did was work with, moving averages and stuff like that, and write equations to do that. And it was essentially a way. It was a really cool program. Then I quit because I got really sick of looking at stock numbers, and I felt the whole thing was almost like I would tell anybody who's trying to use a computer to predict the future that it's not going to work. Like that's the conclusion I came to from working on that program so long. Just because it's just impossible. Like it's you can try, but you're never going to. I mean, you can try and you get a little bit better, but it's not. I don't know. I wouldn't use it. So I quit that job. And then I moved back home and started up a business with my family, which is it's called Touchstone Memories. And what we do is you get online, you upload images, you upload PDFs, you write some text, and the website does everything so that we can print you a hardcover book. So it's kind of like Lulu or something like that. One of those bookmaking websites. It's still trying to get off the ground. I'm not sure that was the best career move for me, but it is what it is. And right now, thinking about finding a new job. But I still it's tough. I don't know. I'm thinking about moving to Ireland, and so that's my plan. I don't know. Does that answer anything?
Awesome. So, so you own company or you work in a company as a developer?
So for this Touchstone Memories part, I'm like it's a proprietorship, and I'm like a third of the owner or something. Um, my mom and my uncle are the other 2/3, and we have our own little print shop. It's pretty crazy. My parents are pretty crazy. They wanted this website. My mom really wanted a website where people could get on and make a book easy because she was trying to do it and she couldn't do it. And then next thing I know, they're over there buying thousands of dollars in printer equipment, massive printers, bookbinding stuff. So we got all of this stuff just like out in the garage to go. You get on my website and you go make a book, and I'll go out there and I'll bind it up for you and I'll package it and send it to you. So it's literally like a entirely homegrown business. Ultimately, I'd like to not have it be that, but I'm working on it.
So what are the tools that you use for the development? Like you mentioned, you are you're developing web page for a person who wants to put their artwork. So what are the tools that you're using?
Right now, for that website, I'm using Angular. I'm using the newest Angular framework. I really like Angular. For the client, I'm not opposed to doing other things if they want me to, but this one I had a choice, and so I'm using Angular. For the server, I run it generally on, at least this is, I haven't gotten to the server part of this current project I'm working on, and I'm thinking of changing how I do some stuff. But what I've done in the past mostly is work with Spring in Java. So I make a Spring Boot, Spring Security, set up my project in Maven, uh, you know, uh, and then I deploy it onto Amazon Web Services. I think I'm going to do different this time. Is I'm trying to get into understanding more about serverless compute. Right. Serverless computing. I don't want that. I want to get rid of that Java server and use Lambda functions if I can. I don't. So that's what I'm working on, which I haven't ever done that. And all of my stuff right now is set up in Java, so I'm like hesitant to. But I don't know. That's where I'm at right now. Besides that, I mean, I mostly like to write in Java, so I tend to use Java when I can. But at this point, I'm not really worried about whatever I have to use. If I have to use it, I try and just figure it out. Yeah, I can't think of much else that I use. Hmm. Sorry.
So what are the services that you use in Amazon Web Services?
I mean, for Touchstone Memories, I use EC2. I use that. That's part of the thing I don't like about how Touchstone Memories is run, is it's got that server, so it's running that server all the time on EC2, and it uses an S3 bucket for all of the big files. I recently set up Cloudfront, learned about that. That was something I never used before, but I think I got it pretty well working, and I think I understand it. Man, it was a hassle. I couldn't figure out cookies for the longest time. That's the frustrating thing about working on your own. And if you run against a roadblock, you can be at that roadblock for weeks if you're not careful. So there's CloudFront, S3, EC2, Route 53, obviously. I have used Lambda, but I don't use it much, but I'm planning to use it more. Yeah. That's all I can think about. That's all I can think of for right now. I think that's mostly what I use.
So, when you was a student as a computer science, when you was a student as a graduate computer science, so what you learned, and after completion of your graduation, becoming a software developer, so what you learned, what are the languages, and what is your profile exactly?
Say that last part again.
uh, your profile in general words. What are the languages that you learned, the programming languages that you know, and the tools that you use that you can able to manage, and also tell me what you learned as a when you was in university.
Oh, university. So, I've worked in Python. I've worked in Java. I've worked in JavaScript. Obviously HTML. I have done C++, but it's been a long time. I have done even Haskell, but I don't like. I'm not really into those. I'm not really the functional programming languages. Kind of, they're not my thing. Of course, I like the functional stuff that I see in Java and JavaScript. I'm liking how they're turning functional. Yeah, I'm working in TypeScript, obviously, with Angular. That's basically JavaScript, though. I think that's mostly what I've worked in. In university, when I went, what I learned, um, I learned the basics. I learned a lot of math. When I grew up, I never thought of myself as a math person. But to get that degree, I had to get through Calc 3, and now I think of myself as a math person. There was a lot of math. One thing I learned, I never, I learned how to write a proof. I don't think a lot of people know how to do that, and I'm not that good at it either. But um, I learned. Man, I learned about data structures. I learned about algorithms. I learned about machine learning. I took a few machine learning classes. I really enjoyed those. One of them, the one I remember I really liked was evolutionary artificial intelligence, and that one's it's great. You would, one of the projects, I think one of the first projects we did, we had a little 3D environment, and we had you basically like kind of like a table with four legs, right? And the legs had joints, and they had actuators on their joints. And what we would do is evolve a brain for that little 3D object to start walking. And we do that by randomly, by basically mutating the brain. You start with a blank brain kind of, and then your algorithm as it goes through will mutate the neurons of the brain, and the brain will eventually, if you do it right, start to walk competently. It's pretty insane what you can do with evolutionary algorithms. Yeah, that class was cool too. Taught me, like one of the projects. I don't know if anybody's ever played. There's a mobile game called Threes. Have you heard of it? You have. So one of the projects, right, was where I wrote a bunch of algorithms that were designed to beat threes. And so I got a little website up there, and you can go try the different algorithms and watch it play. I'm not sure if it's better than me or not. I think I'm better than it though. So it's hard. AI stuff is hard. Especially some of those that math was those are just some really complex math. Let's see. I learned a bit about networking, not that much. Learned a bit about computer ethics, not that much. I learned I learned about time complexity. I learned about space complexity. I learned about a lot of this, just a lot of theory. It was a lot of theory. I didn't really teach us much languages. There were a few, but for the most part, it was a lot of theory. And I guess that's my answer.
So, what are the projects that you are involved in?
I mean, I made another website for a doctor. Mainly, I've been focused on Touchstone Memories because there's so many things involved with it, and it, So right now, what I'm doing is working on Touchstone Memories. Except it's mostly, I mean, I won't ever say it's done because it's one of those things where it's like every time I get on it, I find a new bug, and so. But I want it to be done, I would at least want it to make me money while I'm not doing anything on it. So that's where I'm at right now. If somebody came to me with a project or something, there's a good chance I would say, yeah, because I'm pretty open right now. I'm working on this website, but that's it for right now until I actually either end up getting a 9-to-5 type job or just keep pulling in work like this. I kind of don't want to go back to the 9-to-5, but if I can work from home, it'd be all right. That's kind of my goal.
So you're a freelancer now?
Yeah, and I would say if anybody's thinking of doing that, maybe think again. But if you have a good idea, if you have a simple idea, you could do it. I think part of my issue was my idea was too complex, and it's just me. And you need money to pay people like me to help you. So if you don't have that startup capital, if you don't have the means around you to do it, unless you have a really good idea, you should probably go work for somebody else, is my thought. That's what I would say. I'm not sure if that was even an answer to your question.
So, how much time you usually take to complete a project?
Usually a lot longer than I say I'll take. that's the so right now. Well, I mean, I quoted this guy at a month just to get his website up and get his website. I mean, this is for the art. The lady who wants to do art, another guy, a marketing company, is actually paying me to do it. But I quoted them for a month to get that website where all of the client stuff, all the HTML, all the JavaScript, all of that was good to go and up and ready. And I quoted them at a month for that, but it only took a week or two. So it's the other stuff. I work pretty fast if I know what I'm doing. If I have to if I have to run into roadblocks, if I have to figure out new stuff, it becomes very variable. And but I'm hoping for this. I mean that changes. I definitely know more right now than I knew, at the start of my last project. And so I'm moving a lot faster on this project than I did in my last one. And hopefully I just keep getting faster, because I know how to do things, and I don't have to look up how to do things and understand them anymore, because I already know. That's the goal.
So different clients have different requirements. Not many clients have technical knowledge. So will you take the responsibility and do it everything for them, and tell them how to manage it after that? And after
Yes.
completion of the project, will you continue giving service to them?
Yes. So like for this most recent project, my plan is, I'm charging them upfront fee. It's damn low. It's a low fee, because I'm a nice guy. I should charge them more, and I'm probably going to have to if I actually want to make more money. But I my goal is to have me work on your website as little as possible. But if you pay me hourly, so that's my deal with this guy right now. I charge him a set rate to make the website based on what he wants, and then after that, I'm going to charge him hourly to make any changes to it. And so anywhere down the line, if they want me to do something to it, they can. Ideally, though, I haven't actually set up her AWS account, but I'm going to set it up on her. I don't want her payment to go through me. I don't want to deal with that. I'd rather just get paid for my actual work. So she'll be handling the monthly costs and all of that stuff. It'll go directly to her, and I won't be the middleman. And I know I probably shouldn't do that, but I feel like it's probably I would prefer that if I were having somebody make my website for me. So that's the way I do it. I mean, ideally, in the past, what I've tried to do is just make my websites make them editable, so that they don't ever have to contact me again. I can just be done with it, because I don't like to have somebody call me and be like, John, can you change how this paragraph looks on my website? I just don't want to. It's just a big hassle. But I guess if you're paying me well, I can do it.
So
that's kind of what this lady wanted. She's not good at the computer. She doesn't want to deal with she doesn't want to get on there and edit herself. She just wants to tell me what she wants on it. So
the functionalities they give, or you suggest?
Huh?
As a freelancer, the functionalities they give to you, or you tell them what is good for their business?
It depends. I'm there to, like this one, he wanted to do it in Joomla. I guess, I don't know. I tried to look into Joomla, and I said, no, dude, I don't want to do Joomla. It's going to take me way longer to do Joomla than if I just set up an Angular project and uploaded it to AWS, and so in that case, I'm basically choosing it all. But if they need me, he's got another website that I'm about to be working on that is in Joomla, and that one I'm not going to have any control over. So I'll just have to work in Joomla to fix whatever he wants me to fix. So it really, I would say it just depends on what your client needs, what they want. If they came to me and said, I want a website, I don't really care how you do it, then I'm going to pick how to do it. If they care how I do it, and I don't know how to do it the way they're doing it, I might just tell them I can't do that for you, because that's about what I told this guy when he came to me was because he wanted it done in a month, and he wanted he wanted not everything, not only all of the website, but he wanted, he wanted people to be able to buy stuff off of her website and for people to be able to log into her website. And I told him, I can't do that. I don't think I can do that in a month. Maybe another company could, but you should, so you should go talk to them. And he went with me, so we're doing it my way.
So how much time you take to fix the bug or the error?
Depends on the bug, man. Some of the bugs, super easy to fix. Some of them are inexplicable and really, really hard to fix. Especially, like with touchstone memories, man, I wrote a lot of that when I was first getting out of college. I wrote a lot of it. So there is there'd probably be a lot of bugs even if I wrote it today, but there's a lot more bugs in that program than I care to admit. And some of the bugs are just they're I don't know. I have it set up partially like Google Docs. Google Docs, how they you get on Google Docs and you can collaborate with people. You can two people can get onto the same document and type in the same spot, and it's not going to mess up, right? And so I tried doing that with Touchstone Memories, and it does partially do that. But man, the bugs, trying to figure out those bugs just make your brain explode trying to figure out why it's going wrong, what's going wrong. But in general, I'm pretty good at figuring out what's wrong. I would say I fix bugs pretty quickly.
So where do you host usually the website?
AWS. That's where if you came to me with a web wanted me to make a website, I would recommend AWS. If not them, then I'd recommend Google Cloud Engine or whatever that one's called. Like right now with this artist website, my goal is to literally host it on S3, right? If I that's what I mean by the serverless thing. If I understand correctly how it's all supposed to work, I think I can just upload that HTML, upload that JavaScript onto the bucket and serve it as a static website, and then farm any other activities out to Lambda functions or I assume I haven't quite done it yet, so I'm not fully knowledgeable on it, but I am somewhat knowledgeable on it.
So AWS, so hosting website on AWS, how much they charge? Like I know that I'm a solution architect trainee, so I learned something like EC2 S3. So I have some Lambda functions and I have some basic knowledge, but I don't know exactly how much. It is
Man,
like pay as per you use it. So how much usually they charge?
so that's part of the reason why I want to go serverless, is because you go right now. So Touchstone Memories, it runs on a server that's running 24/7. It's a server, and that server serves the web page, and it serves requests from users from the web page. And that server, when it's running all day, depending on the processor and the RAM options that you choose for your server, lowest around $10, $10 a month, lowest probably. Of course, for the first year, there is a free tier on Amazon. I would recommend that. I would recommend it just for that, because you can get away with a lot of free, just entirely free. Like there's just usage quotas, and you can use it for free until you use it so much that month, and then they'll start charging you. So if you don't use it that much, nobody goes to your website, you're not going to get charged. And apart from that, I would say everything is pay as you go. So you get charged as much as you use. If you're on the free tier, there's a good chance you set up a website and you don't get charged for a year. And then after that, you might just get charged $10 a month. But if you get a decent sized processor, man, when I was first starting out on AWS, I accidentally chose the wrong processor. Look at the bill, $400 bill for just a single month. I was floored. Like I just chose a slightly bigger processor. It was kind of so be careful when you're choosing your processor and make sure that you actually know. And if that does happen to you, write them an email and say, I'm going to switch to Google if you don't, if you make me pay this $400 because I did not know, and they'll probably give you your $400 back. Yeah, I don't know. Does that answer your question?
So how to know which service is needed for which project? So how you analyze, how you calculate?
Oh, just past knowledge. When I first was starting out at Happy Jack Software, that was my professor's company. When I was first starting out there, he taught me the concept of a bucket, and then that would turn into, okay, well, now get onto S3 and figure out how to use it. And that's so when I'm trying to figure out what services on AWS I need to use, it's just all about reading documentation, and it's all about Google searching. It's about saying, how do I do this into Google, and then going through Stack Overflow and reading people's advice. It always impresses me how much people are willing to help each other, especially in the computer science stuff. How much time people put into stuff that doesn't make them any money at all, just for other people's reference. That stuff is all over the web. And so when I'm trying to figure out, well, when I was trying to figure out the reason I started using Cloudfront, I didn't know what Cloudfront was. I'd seen the word CDN somewhere, lots of places before, and all sorts of address, but I didn't really have any concept of what it was. And the reason I started using Cloudfront was because I couldn't, I needed to serve images from S3, but I needed to make them private. And the only way you can do that in S3 is by getting a signed URL. So you'll ask, the API to just assign you a signed URL that lasts only for like 24 hours to this one file. Well, on Touchstone Memories, I actually set it up so the images are all tile pyramids. I don't know if you're familiar with that term, but it's a way to look at supermassively huge images without breaking your computer. You start with the original image, you break it up into a bunch of tiles, you scale it down, you break that up into a bunch of tiles, you scale it down, you break that up into a bunch of tiles until you get down to just a super small tile, and then you serve whichever image is appropriate given the zoom level of your screen and how much of the image is in your screen. So you could serve, a monstrous image just by serving those tiny little tiles. And so that's how every user image on Touchstone Memory is, you upload the image and then my program takes it through, because part of the problem with a book, those images are huge and they break your browser. If one image that isn't blown up stretching across the entire cover of your book, because you can edit the cover, you can add images onto the cover of your book. One image stretching all the way across can be 4,000, 5,000 pixels, and then another 4,000 pixels high. And so loading a single image like that would break your computer. And part of the issue with that, getting those signed URLs to each one of those little tiles, right? So that just really slowed me down, and it made the website pretty it was necessary because there's no way I could show you these huge images without your browser locking up. But all of the time that it took to get those links I would have to sign the link for each one of those tiles. So you request one of those tiles, it would have to go to my server would have to sign the link, give you the link back, and then you'd have to go to the S3 server to actually get the file. And so what I figured out, why I needed to use Cloudfront, how I figured it out was, people were saying, oh, well, you can just you can do signed URLs, but you can use a wildcard. And so you can just sign URLs for a whole folder. And so to me, I'm just like, oh, well, that's how I need to do that, because I can't sign I need to basically give a user access to an entire folder instead of one file. And the only way to do that was Cloudfront. So that's why I started using Cloudfront. And that's similar to that's a similar thing for Lambda. That's how I started using Lambda. It was a solution to a problem. It was a potential solution to a problem. And so I learned about it and then started to use it, and now I know a little bit. I know a little bit about it to use it next time. So it's all a lot of Googling. It's a lot of research. If you know what you're doing, it's really nice. It's really nice if you're given a project and you know everything and you don't have to go look up anything and you can just code it. That's really nice. It just rarely happens for me. So, I mean, it's happening less and less, or happening more and more, because, like for this one, I had never set up a payment. I'd never done any sort of Braintree stuff or PayPal or any of that until I had to just figure it out on my own for Touchstone Memories because we needed it. But now, I go to this artist, I am not all that worried about setting up the payment anymore. It's not something I'm going to need to spend time wondering where to start, what I need, all of that stuff. So it's just doing it. It's just doing it. It's just doing what you need to do. It's saying, I have a problem. I want my program to do this, and then look up how other people have gotten their program to do that, and then try to do it.
So, do you have AWS certification?
I don't think so. I don't think I have I can't think of, unless you call bachelor's degree in computer science certification. Nothing through AWS or something like that. And I don't have any AWS. I probably should get some.
Yeah, but you have enough knowledge like a AWS practitioner or associate level, because I can understand that.
Yeah. I mean, I got a lot of experience. I don't necessarily got the certifications for it though.
Correct. Yeah. So you're already doing projects, so it's very easy for you to get certification also.
Easy for me to do what?
Certification. It is very easy for you to get a certification. Yeah.
Maybe I should do it then. Maybe I should do it. You got how many? You got a lot?
Yeah. No, I'm preparing for it. Maybe I'll do it. Practitioner is easy, but as a person, you already worked on the real-time projects, right? I think it's good for you to go for the associate level certification. You will get more opportunities because you need to have like 1 year practical knowledge. Like you have to work on 1 year practical, like you have to use certain services, and associate level is best. I think you can also go for the third level also, because maybe that will be tougher, but the second one is perfect. You will get very easily.
Are you talking specifically AWS certification?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. Yeah. Okay. No, I'll look into it. If you think I could do it, I'll look into it.
You already used it. You know how to use it.
Yeah, no, I got multiple things out there using it. Yeah, and I've used a lot of yeah, yeah.
There are already people from England, New Zealand, and from US who participated on my show on my tech YouTube channel. Already have uh, shown how some services works, and they have shown me, I mean, shown to my audience how this works. Whenever they are free, they will participate. In next week, CI/CD pipeline. So I think that is one of the thing that one of my like virtual uh, friend of mine is going to explain about it. Like he has like real time project like you have. He also had. So like gaining knowledge. Like he owns certification, but he's into that from long time. Uh, Now I have joined like few months before. I have joined as a trainee. Then I'm learning slowly from different people. It's very easy actually, but for you it's damn easy because you already worked on projects and you know how the things work and you're a developer. It is very damn easy. And
Uh,
yeah, it's cloud. Microsoft Azure also is very similar. I
Really?
think you know about it. Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard of it. I haven't ever used it. I'll look into that though. You know, because I am part of what I'm doing. I just bought a domain.
Hmm.
You know, for just for myself, so that I can put it on my resume. And so I'm trying to pad out my resume. So the certification, especially if it's just easy to get, that is a I might really do that. That would be.
Yeah. So you have website? You hosted
Oh,
your own website on AWS?
yeah. I mean, I gotta, I gotta, I just mean I bought I finally bought a domain that's literally just like johndowney.com, right? And I'm gonna put that on but nothing's up there yet. But I just literally just bought I've just, never, I just never made my own
Website.
advertising my own self website, right? Like what you got like smartcherriestech.com and stuff like that, right? See, now I mean, I made other websites. I gotta, yeah, that's what I'm working on right now, is trying to market myself. I was, you know, hoping I could do it as an entrepreneur type thing, but I'm just not sure. I think you need a really simple and a really good idea to
Yeah.
really take off like that. Otherwise, you need some help. At least I do. So.
And I converted that app into, I mean, website into app, Android app, and I have put that in Google Play Store. Smart Cherries Tech is on store, and
Oh, you got an
uh,
app.
yeah, I have converted the website into app, and also the website is on. We can see on website. I mean, on web browser, and on the app store we can get app also. And I thought
But
to convert it. Yeah,
I was gonna ask, what do you mean by converted into a
Android
mobile?
application.
I'm saying, did you write an Android application and style it after your website, or did you literally take your website and convert it into an Android? Because that's what I'm asking. Like, I'm
Second
pretty
one is
sure
correct.
the second one. So you oh, that okay, cool. Like,
Yeah,
what are
it's
you using then?
easy. Just the domain name you have to put. There is already code in the. You'll get code in
Oh,
the
okay.
internet.
So what I was talking about, have you used Angular?
No, I didn't. I know about it, but I didn't use it.
Well, I think there's probably other frameworks like this too. Angular is actually set up. It's not just a web. It's not just JavaScript. You can basically export your Angular website as a literal mobile app. So
Okay.
that like, you could think of Angular as trying to be like this. It's trying to be. It's almost trying to be like a Java kind of, in that it works it'll work for different operating systems. And
Okay.
so Angular setup, you could actually, that's what I was curious. I was curious if you actually were working in a framework that did that, or I've never done it. I was just curious if you had.
Yeah, just I have put the code in the Android Studio, which is already there. I just gave the settings and deployed it. Just I have uploaded it. So a couple of times it was rejected, so it was not matching the requirements of Google. Then I changed, like some errors came, so then I changed it. Then it worked, and I just wanted to make reach more audience. Like I'm a very good content writer. I'm technical content writer. So
Good.
before coming to YouTube, I spent a lot of time, like 3 to 4 years I spent on writing technical stuff, writing about the routers, networking, like routers, fiber. And when
Cool.
I was a graduate student, I was like very much interested in explaining about how
Wow.
the devices works and how to use it and all. I have huge knowledge about writing. Then that's how my communication skills improved. Then I thought to jump into videos. Then I thought take interviews directly with the people who are already in the industry. So it will be more easy to communicate and connect with the world and uh, to reach the message. So I'm very good in creating content. I was a very good content creator, and
You
I
look
got
like it.
revenue from as a blogger. I got some revenue also from long back, and I
Nice.
lost it. I what The wrong thing that I did is 1 month I didn't renew it. 1 or 2 months I didn't renew it. I hosted on company. I don't want to mention it. So they removed it, the complete data, 3 years of data. Just they deleted it, and because I didn't pay it on the time, and they just removed it. I asked them, I'm ready to pay how much. I just forgot. I was very busy in some other works. I don't know. I didn't even get the notifications that I got, mails, messages. They called me, but I didn't saw, and I lost it. 3 years of data, and also that was available on my Google Play Store, right? So that app was downloaded for 5,000 times. 5,000 people was studying from that app. That when I was a graduate student completed, just I spreaded that. I just sent to everybody, just you can study it. And I explained it very clearly, very, very clearly. Anybody who is watching or seeing that for the first time can understand what the concept is. It was very easy than the lecturer or the professor who is teaching them. So unfortunately I lost it. Then I got very angry. Then I was like very frustrated, and this is not what I wanted. Then I thought this blogging is going to take a lot of time, writing is going to take a lot of time, explanation is going to take a lot of time. Let's talk directly with the industry people and tell to let's make this as a content. uh, that was a content before. Now directly talking and projecting, sometimes whenever they get time, they will implement some services, or they will tell how to use it on my platform whenever they want to. Like there are a lot of people. Yesterday I spoke to the person who is into Microsoft from last 25 years, and he's
Yeah.
a board
I
member
saw
of.
I saw some of the people you were interviewing, man. Yeah. Um, yeah. You're on a good track. Um, I wish I had the motivation that you appear to have.
But you are into different fields. You went to acting, and you was interested in literature at some point of time, and then you decided to become a software developer. But what I believe is, if you are a software developer, you will be very logical and rational, and as a human being, it is how to live, and the way you look at things will be different if you are a software developer. I think being a software developer, I think it's a greatest thing, I believe, right? Because not everybody takes things very like easily as software developers. It's like when you get a bug or when you get an error, you know how to solve it. Like in the real life also, not everybody, like they become emotional they go to some trauma, depression and all, but software developer like searches for the way how to come out from that. So that's why I want to be the software developer. I'm sure, as a human being, if you're a software developer, I'm sure it helps you for as a, being a, the way you look at things will be different if you're a software developer. I'm sure you experience that.
Yeah, no, I definitely look at things differently now that I do. I'm very much more logical and mathematical.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. And by mathematical, I mean I mostly mean logical, because it's not just about numbers and all of that stuff.
So if you send me your information, I mean your profile, your biography, or the technical knowledge that you have very clearly in a format, I will put in the description of this video. People who find the video or who wants to use your service, who want to hire you, they will see you and they will use your service. That is what
Yeah,
my motto is.
I will do that, and I really appreciate it.
I'm sure they came to know about you and this 1 hour.
Hopefully.
And also this will be on my podcast also. I have a tech podcast. I'll put on the podcast. A lot of people listens to this, so I'm
Cool.
sure. So you don't have a website, but do you have plan to host it someday?
You know what? I'll put something up there right now today. Yeah, I'll send you everything I can think of that I got.
Yeah.
And yeah, and I really appreciate it.
So I'll put all your details in the description, and if you want to spell on podcast, they can listen you about you.
If I want to spell my
I
name,
mean, about the services that you provide, about the work that you can do as a freelancer.
I mean, I'm ready to I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not good at selling myself. I will say that if you need a website, if you want a cheap website, let me know. If you want to, I'm not coming from a huge company. I'm not charging you a lot of money. Just because I don't feel it's right to charge you a lot of money when I'm sitting there doing stuff that it's not, you know. I feel like we get really overpaid is my thing. Of course, I want money, but I'm saying I'm cheap. I will. I'm cheap, but I know what I'm doing. And I can build a website. I can build from the ground up. I can make some back end logic to calculate things for you. I can, I'm not afraid to hop into any programming language you throw at me. I don't know. Is that I hope. I don't know, man. I'm trying here. John Downey. It's going to be johntdowney.com. JOHNTDOWNEY.com. But it's not up yet, but it will be. I'll put something up there in the next week. I'm trying to get a job. So.
So I hope it reaches to a lot of people in the world. Uh, a lot of tech people will watch and listen to this from anywhere on this planet. So thank
Makes
you
me
very much. Yeah.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me. Thanks for reaching out. Didn't expect it. Happy to talk. I'll get a hold of you if I ever have anything that I think you might want to talk about.
Yeah, whenever you're free, whenever you want to share any services that the AWS especially, if you want
Sure.
to implement or screen share and tell any services, I mean, whenever you're free, like when you feel like comfortable, like, I'm ready to say about this or implement, I will record it and I'll put it on my channel. And with you, I will do I will also share my screen. We'll do a two-side and. I
That'd
mean,
be cool.
people that will be useful for people. At the same time, the world knows that you know this service, and you can put I mean, the
No, no,
recruiters
this
may connect to you. Yeah,
yeah, this helps. I'm really appreciative. So, and
yeah.
you're doing a great job, man.
So I want you to get benefit from this, and I want me to get benefit from this. It's like two-way. I believe that only when we help other, we will grow.
Sounds great to me.
So at last, have you seen any videos of mine on YouTube, and what do you say about my work?
So I watched a good three, four, or five. I want to say 4 or 5 videos. Um, I thought it was I thought you had a crazy range of topics. I wasn't sure what you wanted to talk to me about, to be honest. I was because one of those I saw was yoga or something. There was a lady doing yoga, and I watched another one with I think they were vegans. It was like the good life or the vegan life or something. I don't. It was something like what I'm talking about. And man, the one that blew me away, kind of though, and I just didn't even know what to think about it was the 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 lady talking about the voices in her head. That was insane. Do you know what I'm talking about? That was insane. But that was I don't want to talk about that much. That was just so yeah. You got a wide range of content, and man. I hope a lot of people watch you.
So yeah, what is your observation? How it helps? I'm going to work as an IT director in coming days. So how do you think it works and it helps for me, whatever that I'm doing? Do you think it helps for me in coming days somewhere in technology?
I think it's gotta help. I'm not sure that it's gotta just help your visibility. It's gotta it make when if I were looking at you and I were trying to hire you, that's what you're asking, right? Like, how would this help? How do you think it's gonna help you? I would just say that it looks like you take yourself seriously and you think about these things a lot, and that you're probably a good person to hire. I would think that people who see this video, who see that you are doing this, just that you are doing this, uh, I think that's a plus, and I think that the more visible it is, that's the bigger of a plus it is for you. So I mean, I don't know how specifically it helps you. I would say that if I were hiring you and I got on, if you were up to be hired and I got on and I saw all of this stuff you're doing online, it would give me I would think that this is somebody I could hire. You know, um, it's definitely a plus. No matter, it's got to be a plus. It's got to be a plus.
So yeah, as a software developer, I just wanted to know your observation because you have the real time experience and you are into this industry for like few years. So your words really helps me and improves. If I'm doing any mistake, it helps me in improving myself.
I don't think you're doing any mistake. You got your mask. You're doing better than me, man. I should be the one asking you. That's the thing. You're doing fine, dude. You're doing fine. You'll get. I'm sure you'll be fine.
And I saw your cat. I think you have a cat.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I got a cat. I got 4 dogs in here, man. I'm surprised you haven't seen any of them. Yeah,
Nice. So where do you live?
Wyoming, Wyoming, the wild west of United States. Um, the least populous state in the United States. So
Is it in South America or North America?
North America,
Okay.
North America, United States. So like, it's above Colorado. It's below Montana. I don't know if you've heard any of it's a very rural part of America, of North America. It's you know, very low population density. There's not many people here. That's where I'm at. It's not a tech hub, I'll tell you that. There's not much jobs here for me.
So I'm sure people from different parts of the world will watch you and listen to you, and if, you know, they already know, they heard you, what the work that you do and what you know and what you can do and what you already did. So I'm sure it will be helpful for you. And thanks for giving me your valuable time and spending your valuable experience with me and to my audience. And I'm sure you're going to do some amazing works in some amazing projects and going to uh, make people smile.
I hope so, man. I hope so. Sounds good. Thanks for having me.
Thank you
And
again. Yeah,
check out your podcasts, man.
yeah. If you send me your links, the links that you have and the profile, I mean your information, I'll put in the description. People will know more about it.
I'm
Yeah.
on it. I'm on it. I'll do that right now.
Can I put can I put this your video and audio clip on my YouTube channel
Yeah,
with
you
your
can do
permission?
whatever you want with this, man. You could do whatever you want with this. I don't care.
And also on my podcast, can I
Whatever,
put this on my podcast website, internet,
whatever
social
form you
media, everywhere with your permission?
you can. Yes, yes, you can do whatever you want with it. I really, it's all good.
Yeah. Thank
Got
you,
the
John. Meet you
blanket
soon
like.
again.
All right. Talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.